Well, exactly.
It doesn't matter if you're molesting boys or girls.
And
the church may make a distinction. The law doesn't.
The law doesn't, and the church is complicit in this. If the church takes this pedophile and moves him around and knows what his actions are and don't do anything about it, like turn him in, they are complicit. They are an accessory to the crime.
And it's worse because they bill themselves as being
pillar of morality.
Yeah.
Right. They're flawless. They're infallible.
Infallible.
And I don't care how tall your hat is, you're not infallible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, that would make a great, to use a term people know from recent news, it would be a great jihad for the church to clear house of pedophiles.
Yes. Good idea. Okay. Good evening, NLC Trans. You're on the air. Hello? Hello?
His name is Ray. Ask him if he's... Do you know Ray?
Ray. I don't know if we... Do we know Ray?
Okay. Just say hi, Ray. He may have hung up.
Hi, Ray.
Hi, Ray.
Hi, Ray.
Hi.
You still with us?
Hi, Stacy.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Hey, Stacy. You're doing a very good job.
Thank you.
Hello?
Thank you.
I can't hear you. Who's your guest tonight?
I'm sorry.
Just go,
who's the guest?
He asked who the guests are. Just
Hello?
go around, introduce yourself, say thank you, Ray, for calling, and then kind of try to hang up.
Okay.
Okay.
Tonight our guest is Father Gerard Zabik, and of course you know Stace. I'm Callista, and this is Tara. And thank you so much, Ray, for calling.
Go ahead and just hit off.
Okay, gotcha. Thanks, Ray. Okay. Anyway.
Well, I mean, he may have been responding to me with the tissue, and I'm not crying, nor do I have contacts that would be a problem. But I do appear to have a propensity for whacking myself in the head with a fashion statement.
Okay.
And that's what I've done this evening. So I'm enjoying how brilliant I am.
Well, you do have a penchant for mocking fashion. I guess occasionally fashion mocks back.
That would be yes.
Yes, Stacy hit herself in the eye earlier. So.
Right before I walked into the building, which was awesome. That's my favorite. That's how I know I'm a genius.
Oh God. Okay. Anyway, so yes, that was a crazy movie. If
Deliver Us from Evil.
Deliver Us from Evil. It's like wow. Wow. It just it was sickening. Some of the stuff that's been going on, and the way the church just sort of looked the other way and moved these people around so they could do it again.
Mm-hmm.
What a nice thing, and
Right.
I don't know. I was sickened by that, but.
Well, they have a long-standing history for looking out for their own interests over any, local corporeal laws.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think somebody should have to pay for those sins.
Right.
Personally, but enough of that. Anyway.
Well, it was. I don't have the exact words, but I do know that there was last year sometime the Roman Catholic Pope Vatican put out a list of released a news story where they talked about things that they were considering sins, which was just an extension of what you could normally interpolate, anyways. But they were talking about accumulating too many goods, not sharing enough of yourself with the public and the less needy. That these were not just bad things, but they were sins. And they had a list of 10 or 12 things, excessive greed and because the markets were blowing up, and so they came out and said that all these kinds of things are bad. And then there was a comment by this guy after he labeled all these things sins, and pedophilia is still really frowned upon, or something to those. So we're making progress. Pedophilia is almost a sin in the eyes of the church.
I laugh, but it's not funny, is it?
It's not funny, no. No, and I'm sure if you were to pin any local priest down, they would tell you with no uncertain terms that it is absolutely a sin to take advantage of another human being that way.
Yeah.
But this institutionalization can create some very funny situations where they contradict themselves to no end.
Yeah. Yeah. It is, unfortunately, fodder for comedians. But it's really too bad, and it has destroyed a lot of lives, which is a horrible, horrible thing. So, anyway, so we won't get into too much Pope bashing tonight, I hope. I think we've sort of done a lot of that.
Well, and as we had pointed out before, the Pope is just the head of one of these institutions. There are lots of them to pick on.
That's true.
Right, and organized religion has been really, really easy to use as a bludgeon, and we've caught the brunt of it.
To gain power over people.
Yeah. What I'm concerned about are gay people and transgender people who are, religious, and they're like hiding in their closet.
Yes.
That is a sad state.
It is.
Because they're constantly being berated, and they're not living their life fully of who they are, because the glory of God is man fully alive or woman fully alive. That's the glory of God, and that's taken the first century. One of the popes said that. And when you don't allow a person to be fully alive as he or she is, you're actually taking away their humanity.
Right.
Well, and I would argue suppressing the creation of God.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because God creates interesting things every day. If you're a scientist, you can see that wonder, that awe.
Life is beautiful and complex.
Yeah.
And I feel so fortunate to be a biologist and get to enjoy that complexity and just immerse myself in it every day. But it's the greatest study of God is the study of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's, I think, a distinction. A lot of times people, not usually scientists, but people who aren't, have a difficult time understanding how you can be a scientist and be faithful and have faith in something. And it's like, well, and I told one person, science is the study of the observable world. It doesn't try and tread upon the unobservable.
Right. Two completely different things.
Right.
Belief
if there's some
has
way
nothing to do with science.
If there was some way to observe, the Holy Spirit as it traveled through all living things, scientists would try to measure it.
Sure.
Immediately, yeah.
Sure. God and science are not mutually exclusive.
No.
By any means. We can have both. I like to say that God created science.
Well, and as both the fathers have said, God is in all living things. And so as Stacy said, when you study the natural world, in lots of different beliefs, you bring yourself closer to God.
Yeah. Yeah.
As opposed to the people maybe that walk blindly through life and sit in the pew every Saturday or Sunday and twice a year have a big meal. Because that's what they told me to do.
Right. Right.
But I might not be entirely fair.
It's not taking your faith seriously when you end up doing that.
Yeah, you go through motions.
You
it's
go
hollow.
through motions.
Right.
It's like what Mohammed would call monkeys.
Yeah.
Because in the Quran, he refers to Jews and Christians as pigs and monkeys.